when I saw the first 4 episodes of Royals, it did remind me of certain shows and movies. Tell me, did it remind you when you first heard about Royals, about Bridgerton? I mean, these are these widely acclaimed shows, or maybe Prince and Me. Did it remind you when you were first offered, or when you first heard about the Royals?
I have to confess, I'm not the audience for like a Bridgerton, for example, so
Okay.
I haven't binged all of it. But I knew that there were parallels to draw thematically, and again, Mills and Boons. These are the spaces that I would classify it in. But also, I thought there was so much more that was refreshing and different about it, and hatke, and hopefully, what's unique that we bring to the space. What separates it from a Bridgerton is the modernity of it, you know, the contemporary satire of it.
I wish I could say Crown, just for the fact that they talk about a lot of the characters, and they delve into it. You fall in love with the sister of the queen, etc. So just in that manner. But yeah, I think Schitt's Creek and Bridgerton really hits the mark.
I mean, there's a mix of various different shows that are already there, of course. The time, the space, the characters, the Indian context, the modernity, and of course, yes, but the time, the context, the modernity, the Indian setting, but also mainly the comedic element and the way you treat these matters. You know, The Crown is going to go very in depth and make it very real. We're going to give you a little bit of fun. We're going to make sure you have a laugh, make sure you can sit down, grab a bite and watch the show and like have a good time, rather than go back to your room and say, oh, how terrible the British dynasty was, you know. Not that it's similar to The Crown.
Yeah.
There are elements of The Crown and many other shows that come into this show.
You tell to Sumuki's character that, you know, kuch to original likhna, AI ke upar
Right,
depend
right,
nahi
right.
karna.
Yes. I was so confused.
Sophia?
On Entourage?
No,
about Entourage, okay.
not your character Entourage, but so the subtle mention or the tongue-in-cheek remark about Entourage or AI, you know, do you think, I mean, as actors also, you know, are you for or against these things? About these two
For or
aspects?
against
I
Entourage
wasn't
or
expecting
AI?
that question,
Yes.
but
Oh man, that's loaded. For or against? Look, no one person should have enough people to burden an entire
Absolutely.
setup. Okay, so and there's a good bit of tongue-in-cheek fun to have there, and my personal experience has been very different on different sets. I mean, I've worked on A Perfect Couple where I was literally my own everything, and I had no person with me. And like in setups like these, you have a lot of actually we're used to a lot of help, and it can often be funny. But on sets, I prefer not to have a manager there. I prefer to just like do the work, mix with the team. So I'm not for or against, but like yeah, definitely some discretion from the actor would be great. And AI, I have some very very strong thoughts on AI. So maybe
Let's dig in.
let's dig in.
you love to
Point number
dig in.
47.
Look, you know, called me old school, but I think at least as far as it comes to professions where the human experience matters, especially in storytelling. I think storytelling is literally the act of empathy and connecting with fellow humans.